Hello, my name is Sergeant Jim Wagner. I'm a police officer in the United States. I've been a police officer for approximately 15 years. Within these 15 years, I've also done counterterrorism. After 9/11, I ended up for about a year doing counterterrorism with the United States federal government as a special agent. Throughout my career, I've also been a defensive tactics instructor, teaching police and military units worldwide. I've had the opportunity to train with approximately 500 units, German GSG-9, Argentinian GOE, Brazilian GACE, Seattle Police Department, Boston SWAT teams, Miami police departments. And throughout my travels, I've also had an opportunity to train with the Israelis. In fact, I was in Israel several months ago training with special units, with their special forces. And that's something that I've been doing for the past 3 years as an invitation by the Israeli government. As I go across the world, I run into a lot of people. And in Israel, I ran across, years ago, a very good instructor. In fact, he's one of the best in Israel. His name is Major Avi Nardia with the Israeli Defense Forces. He's also a reserve police officer in a specialized team. He also trained with Yamam. Yamam is Israel's top counter-terrorist team. Within the Yamam, there is a special martial art known as Kapap. In Hebrew, it's Krav Panim Lepanim, basically face-to-face combat. And what they do for the special forces in this martial art is they call it Kapap Lotar. Kapap, I just told you about, and Lotar is Lotar B'chama. And what this is a type of martial art that is exclusively for the special forces. And I've had an opportunity over the years to train with him. I have today Avi Nardia with me, and he's going to do a full, complete video seminar on the art of Kapap. However, this is not the exact version that the Israeli military and police use. What it is going to be obviously some things dealing with the military. However, he's taken it a step further, and for the first time, he's created a very aggressive civilian version of Kapap. And what he's going to do is show it to you. Kapap was the original martial art of Israel. Before the other ones, Kapap was the original one back even before World War II. And then from it, many other martial arts developed. Krav Maga, Krav Magen, Hisardut, and several others. And I've had the opportunity to train in most of them and to talk with the top Israeli instructors in the world. So sit back, enjoy the techniques that he has to show you, because this is going to be something brand new.
Hi, my name is Avi Nardia, and today I'm going to show you a very old military, the first of the IDF exercise named Kapap, face-to-face combat. And then I'll show the application, how it transferred to law enforcement, and from law enforcement to civilian application. Many people know Kapap as a micro-combat or Lotar. Thank you. I started with sentry removal as a military, and right now I will show you a few points that are very important. I use them for the sentry removal, and we will use them later on as a law enforcement, or we'll use them as civilians. One point is right in here, what I call the triangle of the neck, and you have another two in here, just up on the clavicular. Another is down under the mandibular, and one more is just right here. So like if Brian, which is with me now, will try to walk there. While I'm putting my finger, Brian cannot walk because the power go to his axis and atlas, and right now it gives the brain a notice that it's very dangerous to walk, and that's why it's very easy to stop him. Later on, we go to this particular points and we use them as a vital point to our martial art. When I start the sentry removal, I'll lift the nose, and as soon as I do it, the thrust is open. I can slide my knife in this part and get to his organs, as maybe to the brain or anything under the mandibula. I can get inside and get to the aorta, or I can go and get the choke. So basically, as a law enforcement, I might come, take this and get to a choke, go back and close the choke. Sometimes as a law enforcement, after I do this, I hold my neck and I hold his hand. So I can choke by using my neck, and I have his hand, and I can take him to control him. Okay, many times when we go like to ground and I'm doing like, surfing on the guy, and I want to choke the guy, again, I will take the nose and I dig it and I got the choke. So it's the same point as this one, which I can use as a grappler, or I can use it to lift the head away from him. Okay? If the guy take his jaw down and he don't let me, I have those one, and I will dig this direction, take the nose, and close the choke. It could be that two people are fighting, and Brian fighting in front of a person in front of me, and I want to stop the fight, or I want to be involved. I don't want to come here because then I can be hit. So from here, if I do the same, I hold him. When you do it, you have to do it with one motion and put like a mask to his face, close his nose that he cannot breathe, and by one motion, and take him down. Again, when the guy fight, I might just want to control him, and I do this, and as soon as I hold him, I can step my elbow inside his body and having him under my control. At the same time, I will hold his biceps that he cannot turn to me, and I manipulate the head to the other direction. So the head will come here, I will hold him. I don't want him to turn, so I will hold him in here, and at the same time, I can just drop him down. From the same position, I do this, and the guy looks to the sky. I can hit his back, or I can just roll him all over down, and from here, I can run away or do anything like a fight. The next exercise, we want to make sure that the guy cannot hold nothing in his hand. He cannot pull out a gun or a knife. It could be like I'm guarding a place and I see a suspect, and I think he might be danger. I have all the reasons to think that this guy is a danger, and I'm going to drop him down and take over control on him. To do that, I will also prove that it's much more natural to hit with this palm of the hand rather than to punch. Most people are not used to punch, and even boxers that are very used to punch, they have to practice a lot, and they have also to wrap their hand, otherwise they will break the joint. So we'll start from this exercise that will prove you that it's very natural to drop on the hand and not on the fist, which this hit is much more natural than a punch to a human being. So the suspect is standing like this, and actually I approach him behind him, and by one time I grab his two ankles and I hit him like a football with my shoulder. So on the same time the guy falls down, I kick him a few times under, and I go over him. From here I grab the two hands, make sure that they are up, and from here I have only to push them down and to control the guy. When the hands are in 90 degrees to the ground and the head of the humerus touch the ground, the guy cannot move. Okay, as you saw, it's much more natural to hit and to get hit by this part of the hand than to get punched. And it doesn't mean that we are not punching, it means you have to be much more experienced to get punched. And you have to exercise your hand on makiwara, heavy bags, and to prepare all the bones, all the structure of the hand to get used to punch, not before this. So those hits with this part, like there's a special place like for the nose, it will make his eyes to tear and it will make him fall down. So like if the guy coming forward and I do this, he fall down. If I want to push those two fingers inside his eyes on the same time, I can do it. If I want to go much more aggressive with him, okay? But this push his head and let him away from me. Another is to take those two fingers, and as you remember, I put the knife in here, here, here. Sometimes you can cut, but it makes noise. If you get to his aorta, it's immediately dead. If you get to the brain, it's immediately handicapped and dead. So I'm using my two fingers instead of a knife, and I just push two fingers in here, and I nail the guy to the ground. Sorry. So I can do it with one arm by holding like this, see? So my finger get inside, and I'm like, and I nail him to the ground. All the time, when you push him, nail him to the ground. As I told you, the hand is not going like this because we were looking for the aorta. So it means it has to go forward and down. So it's like a 45 degrees down in here. Another position is like when we're using those two and we put them under the mandibula and we grab the eyes like this and we take the guy away from us. So like when the guy is holding us like a bear, that will be just to stab your hands. Another very easy solution is like when he holding me over my hand, so my both hands can tap on his groins. And to hit the groins, basically you want to do like a net, a big hand, and to hit all over, because you don't know where's the location of his stuff, okay? So you hit like this, and very easy, free. You don't have to hit hard. Just easy, and you get it. Two fingers go over and down. One finger go over and down. From the back, two fingers and down. The next, it could be like the position the guy is holding my hand, or anything like I have like an angle like this to the guy. And on the same time, I will pull my hand to take him out of his balance forward. And on the same time I'm pushing him, this hand will go and do this move and drop him down. Again. So when the guy holds me, basically I will hit him like this. So from here, palm, this is the first hit. The second I go, I can grab something, grab in here, and I go back. From here I can go like an arm lock. Okay. The same when the guy is in my side, I can put my fingers and go down and nail him to the ground. Okay, the next, it's the same application of this point. So the guy is choking me like a side choke. I don't want him to take me to the ground. So my first move is to stabilize myself, hitting his groin like this. The next, I can, after hitting his groin, grab them and cut them away if I need. I take my other hand in between my head to his head. I can hit his ear and I go again. I can grab eyes, but I go like for this point and I take him down. And again, after I take him down, I can nail him with this finger. Many times, when I come to hit the guy balls, he know and he might protect them. but on the same time you protect them from the front, we'll open them from the back. And I can put my fingers and then hit, get in between, kick him to the ground, and nail him again. There's one finger inside his thrust. Okay? The next is how you hit with this part. Basically, even when you punch, it's what we call a 1-inch punch, like from this position. And the idea is like when you're doing CPR to somebody, you relax your hand and by one time you squeeze it in. You know? So on the same, when you hit somebody, you just hit like this. And when you go to the jaw, the guy will be knocked out because nobody likes to get hit on the jaw like that way or that way with this. So if you go like this to the jaw, it's not the chest. The jaw is weak. If you hit the jaw, it will be knocked out. If you hit the neck, you have 7 vertebrae. So if I hit the neck like this or that, you know, those kind of hits. So I need power like 20 kilo. A power of 20 kilo is something like that, and everybody have it. So it's no matter if I hit like a knife or if I hit with this part. I prefer to hit with my bone, like the radius bone. It's strong enough. It's like a low kick with my leg, but I do it with my hand. So many times when the guy grabs my hand, I'm like this, and I knock him down by hitting his neck. Neck can be break from 20 kilo. Chest, 250 to 500 kilo. That's a big difference. That's why we will attack mandibular and neck rather than strong parts of the body. We must remember when we fight that any strong part in our body, any part that we don't feel pain or less pain, is a good part to use as a hammer to hit the guy. So it could be those 2 bones, it could be this part, it could be the elbow, it could be the elbow from the back, it could be like my shoulder, it could be anything like my hip. So if the guy is holding me, it could be my butt that I'm hitting his groin, it could be my headbutt or from the side. But I will not go headbutt his head, I will go and headbutt his nose, his face. That's much more power, the headbutt, than the nose. So you have to calculate what part you're hitting, and actually all your body is a one tool as a hammer. So you can hit like this, you can hit like that. Anything that you want to hit will work for you. Okay, so as we said, I will hit him or hit him or hit him, any kind of those kind of tools. So right now I'm not teaching too much, I'm just doing like introduction. The next is like when the guy is fighting with me or something, I kick like a low kick with my shin. Basically, I will not try to get with this part. Even if I have a good shoes, I will go like a little bit the part that close to my knee, but not with my knee, this part. And many people that still kicking a good low kick, but if you look, my fingers now go up. If they go up, my kick is the west. If my kick go down and my toes go down, actually, in every kick, I gain a lot of power. So the kick should not be fancy. It should be like from this distance, and it should be coming from the front, like this way. And the moment the guy get hit in here, he will open his face to an elbow or other strike. We cannot control this part when we hit in this part. And when we get in hit in this part, we will be open in that part. And nobody can control both of them unless it's very professional. So I will go and hit him in here, and I will look for the other hole to get like another hit. When we get a fight with somebody, actually, I will ask him to put because I'm going to knee him, so I'm going to choke him like that way. So I'm going actually and grab his head, and he will try not to let his head go down, because when his head go down like this, I can open and get my knee inside. I can turn and again open. He think he get free, but then he get my knee inside. And the next exercise, I take like 5 seconds, that in these 5 seconds, Actually, I hit the guy. I did it only with one leg that you can see, but I knee and I go to low kick, and of course I can go like with my elbow, head back, or with my other leg. You know, so at the last one, I manipulate his neck and I took him to the ground. On the same time, I could go other direction and make a damage to the neck. And when I go over him, my knee is all the time on him. My next technique is disoriented. Again, I will make my opponent disoriented. There are many techniques to do it. I will demo only two. So the first, like I'm talking to the guy, like I'm a bouncer, I could be law enforcement, anything. And I need to disorient my guy. Even for 1 second, I can knock him out, or I can just disorient him for a few seconds and escape. So when I'm talking to him, my hands are here, and by one strike, I'm like disoriented for him. So that's the first disoriented technique. I'm talking to him like I will come like undercover, like armed guy, and I say, I want to go out and you get a cigarette or something, you get a cigarette. Wait. I see.
What is this?
As you remember before, we get again to the ground, and a few things that are very important on the ground is to keep this arm. You don't need even to arm lock it, just to keep it, and keep this biceps away from you. So if you try to punch, you have a defense. The next is like my knee is going over here, and in a few moments you will see why. But we're talking about disoriented. So you see like a disoriented technique on the standing. And now I will do disoriented while the guy is on the ground. We just got to the ground and I'm coming on him. So I will do it very fast. There's no mark, but the guy is a little bit disoriented that I can go to my next techniques. If I want to make damage, I go to the jaw. But in this technique, it's just very quick. I can do it on his ears, much more damage, but I go only on his temples, very quick technique. And that's it. Then I can go and grab the guy or arrest him or run away. My next technique is not that I want to be in this position, but let's say that I drop down or the guy knee me or anything and I fall down. And the next moment I find myself on the ground in this height, and the next danger for me is that the guy is going to knee me or boxing me. So I have to take a big advantage. Basically, you can see people sometime in grappling, they clinch you. So immediately they go and clinch your leg or clinch you in here. So you push the knee again in 45 degrees and you drop him and you disappear. So that's one of the techniques. The contra technique is like I'm standing in here and Brian is going down to my leg, okay? So immediately when he comes to my leg, or we're in the middle of clinch, so I will stop him away from him because I want to knee him. And again, if you remember those points, so I'm going like to this point and I manipulate his head away. That way I can come and fight again as an impact fighter and not go to the grappling. So when he comes to my knee, I will hold the nose and I will turn the head and rotate it and get back away from him, because if I'm not a good grappler, I don't want to go to the ground with him. So whenever he wants to clinch me, I will try to rotate his neck, keep him away from me from his shoulder. So like when he's on my leg, so the guy is down and he tries to come on my leg, I try to avoid him from coming to here. Because from here I want to knee him, to kick him, to elbow him. I don't want him to get close to me like this. The more he gets close, I'm going to the grappling part, which I don't want. So immediately grab the nose, take him, and stay on your impact fight. The next technique, we call it an arrow. We making like an arrow. It could be up or it could be down. And the first arrow is like when we get a strike from up. It could be an axe, it could be a knife, but many times when the guy comes, I do this move. And I try to be away from this part. In this part I will get hit the most. In here I will be less. In here I will be much less. So for me, I will try to clinch and to close the distance as much as I can inside. I don't need to stay like this, so that hand can get in or hit him, and on the same time I keep this hand in here. So like to make him surprised and to take his attention, I will do at the same time like a kick down. So I will do like this move. So a complete will be an arrow with a technique of clinch. So it's like this, and I'm stuck to his face, and from here I can grab and go to the knee or anything that you know for a fight. Another way of clinching to close the distance, and why it's important, sometimes we have to take or to arrest somebody from a very, very oriented criminal or terrorist area. And we want to do it very quick. So we will use like a silent walk, like you show me, using a vital points and disoriented the guy. And on the same time, one of the guy will clinch the guy and another one will clinch later. So it's like, could be that we do it undercover. You can do it as a grappler, that you do this and you take him down and you go for the grappling part. If you're a policeman, you will roll him and you will go like for the arresting techniques and you will handcuff him. So it depends what kind of a job we want to do. So then, before I go like for the police or arresting techniques, I will show you like how to clinch. So the guy is standing, and let's say one of the guys come and ask him a cigar or something to smoke, and at the same time you hit him and clinch the guy. After you clinch both hands, you grab and turn him like this. You put your legs that he cannot kick or hit. So there's no gap in between here. And now I will come from Chris just to approach from this side behind me. Lift his legs. And we can run into the car. I'll show another techniques like how to arrest or carry somebody from a place that you don't want him to be there and you want him to be in prison, but you don't need his friends to stop you from doing it. You need to be very fast, come with a car and get away. So like, or it could be like I'm a policeman and we are both policemen said to him, come, let's go to the car. By putting my arms in here, basically, I make sure that he cannot punch, because now I control his biceps. You know, it's like this, and like whenever he move his hand, move your hand, I have control on his hand, okay? So the next thing, like Brian is talking to him, and I say, come on guy, or something, I can hit him like this on the groin. On the same time, like when I do this, or Brian is hitting his groin, I hit the head, and Chris come back, and we keep the shoulder, and the guy is out. If we make problems, we can use other aggressive techniques. You know, there's no two. Who is hitting me? Immediately grab the hand.
I'll say that.
Ready? See how quick it is? The idea in those techniques is that I need to control the elbow and open it by pulling it to me. And on the same time, this hand is inside. So I'm doing like this, and I have the guy. So 1 minute I do it by myself. So if I want to arrest the guy, I do this, and on the same time, I turn him, and I arrest him to my car. So if you see, I mixed the first point, and I move to a resting technique. In this technique, the next, I will use Brian, and we'll do only this one. The guy is very strong, so we will disorient him, maybe a little more than this, more than that, more. So after I do this, I will take him to the ground. Chris is coming, and on the same time we will cross his legs, and we will lift him like that way. 1, 2, 3. My next move is like when we move to grappling techniques, and basically many people when they go to grappling, they try to hold the guy on the ground, and that's not necessary. The only necessary is that you keep this shoulder with you. It means if the guy will do this and will take his shoulder away, he's free from my hold. So it could be like a sport hold, it could be like still a sport hold, but I can make damage to the neck, or I can go like this and make damage to the neck. But the basic, what I want to show you in this hold is like, I try to keep his biceps not to hit me. So like, if the guy want to go to punch me, actually, I don't try to stop his hand, I just try to do not let it come to me. Also, I don't care if he moves the hand, the only thing I care is to hold his triceps and hold him close to me. There are a lot of techniques like to break his legs, or to break his hand, or to break it, or to go like for other breaks. I'm not going to show this, I'm just going to show you principle of what people call today side mount, or some people use Japanese term. I prefer the Japanese term because that's my knowledge. And also, like when I want to go rough, I use my elbows, or I use like chokes whenever I work with the guy. So from here, if my hip is like this and I fight with the guy, so I can control him. One major point is the shoulder and to hold the elbows. Now, if I'm losing, I will just change my hip and this hand come in here under his back and the other one in here. So if you keep fighting me, actually, by using this elbow, I control his hand move and he cannot still punch me. And this hip, keep this hand. He will try to put his elbow inside me, and this hand will keep his hip to do not manipulate and change hip for him. The next is like if I'm losing, I can go and hold like opposite side, and from here I can go and mount the guy. So basically, when I'm mounting the guy, again, I give him like CPR and I nail him, and the guy, he need to close his face. On the moment when he closes his face, I CPR him and I nail him in the neck. When the guy tries to keep his jaw from being punched, I will get my knees or my stomach and push his elbows. Basically, I will not try to fight with his hand, because right now he cannot punch me. And that's what I want. So like now, I can punch him, but he cannot punch me. And that's what I want to make sure. Okay? So basically I can go and lean on him using my body. I can drop his head and go like holding him like this. And I got like a free hit for him. Okay? And the guy cannot resist it. And if you see, I don't hold him. Okay? So that's like a sport. Basically, we don't do it as a sport. So from the sport point of view, I will all the time like fight like this. I will maybe turn and turn over, and I will tight the guy and get him from the sport point of view. From a police point of view, or control point of view, or fighting, I would prefer whenever I fight with the guy, put my knee and stab it in, take his head from me, and get rid on the same time with my elbow. I can headbutt him, I can meet him with my knee, with my elbow. On the same time, I try to keep this hand from hitting me. So I can breaking, I can move to this side, I can move, and I go again. As soon as I do this, I can go and break his ribs. I can put my other arm and do like a French choke, or I can just, you see now he can punch me, so I will turn him a little bit, put my hand, start to work on him. Another, I can put and sit on his lung and hit him like this way. Now I change, instead of this hand, I put my leg. And from here, I can go and bounce that. Okay. Next technique is a technique to train your hand much more like a movement technique, less like a combat, but you might use it as a combat. So basically, like Brian is hitting my face like this, because we try at the beginning to show a big angle. So like I block, I clean it under, and I'm here. And now I hit Brian on the same thing, and he blocked and clean. One thing that is very important is to glue your hand over him all the time and to use all the time moving. Don't stand and try to do the exercise, because the exercise next is going like for arm locks and any kind of techniques as a grappling. And you have to keep his hand, maybe to take him from balance, or maybe to keep fighting later on. But that's just a technique of a moving. Okay. The technique that I'm showing you now, calling tegumi, they're all thanks to a research of Patrick McCarthy from Karate Jutsu Society. Patrick made a big research. What I'm going to show you is a Spanish basic also fight for a knife. So I'm stabbing Brian just to the stomach. So that's the first move. And the second, I will come from here. And now I will play. One time like this, one time like that. And also when the knife comes, you can use your stomach to get rid from the knife. You don't want to stand like a man and get hit. So just the more you get advantage, you can go and cut legs from other part, okay? So that's a basic, again, technique. The keeping of the technique is like, when we play, so we play the same, and Brian tried to take a long angle. And as I mentioned, there's an arrow down, arrow up. So I do the arrow down, and I trap the wrist. On the same time I trap the wrist, if I have a Nomex glove, or if you see like the edge of the weapon is up, so I can just like this and get rid from the knife. Or I can go like for a hand and take a grip on it and keep fighting, or keep fighting with other position. There's another way I can change the knife and do the drills like this way. So it will be the same. And actually, what we try to do is also to slash the muscles and the nerve all over the hand. So like when I'm working with the knife is not standing. So basically, this hand, if I'm attacking Brian with a knife and he don't have a knife, I will come like this. He need to get rid from this hand. On the same moment, I can go and stab him. So this exercise is just to improve your reflex. It's not a knife fighting, but it's a good as a play for a reflex. So you can slash. Of course, I prefer to get hit on the hand than on a very vital organ. So you can play with this drill, and like if he's stabbing me from up, again, I can do up and take the knife and cut him without a knife. Okay, I'm going to repeat the technique like Brian is hitting me like this, and I'm doing that. So when you're getting much more familiar and you want to use knife or stick, and you do the same with a knife or a stick. So the another tegumi after this is like I'm coming with my elbow, he block me, and he keep, and he comes, I block him. And I come back to long distance. And sometimes I go like forward and forward and forward. And sometimes I don't have, so like when he come, I have only one hand. Or when he come, I do this. And then I go to hit his face. So sometimes that's the only thing I'm going to do. Or when he come, 5 times, we will do some handguns techniques. And basically, in our martial art, we teach guns. If you don't know how to use the gun, if you don't know to turn and to go to the target, if you don't know to shoot, if you don't understand the mechanism of the gun, you can never take it out. Never. Many people believe that they are, but they do very big mistake. Because even if I take the gun away from Brian and I took the gun, what I do now if I don't know how to operate the gun? So should I go to grappling with him? If he's a grappler, he will win you again and he will take the gun and shoot you. So you must be aware how to use the gun. The first thing about guns, you have to understand if they are revolver guns or slide guns like this one. So in a gun like this, if I push like this, you see, if I push this slide a little bit, the gun will not operate. And that's an important point, because sometimes I know that the guy is going to shoot me, I have no time, so I just do this. And I stuck the gun by pushing it, and I grab it. Even if he shoot, from now on I can go and fight with him on the gun, and take it away, release the slide, and keep shooting. So the mechanism of the gun is the first rule. The second is like a gun pointed to me. If I go and I try to pull the gun away from here, you have a power to resist me. That's why we have those tournaments for this side. So it means I will have to push him this side. That side, it's very hard for him to resist me. I will try to stay as less as I can from the point of the gun. Many people too much aware about where is this point going, like that is not going to shoot your partner. When a guy have a gun, first of all, if you can take the gun, take the gun, even if you have to shoot your partner in the leg. Because the guy is going to shoot immediately. Or, if not, take your time. But basically, if you're going to operate against a gun, you have to be, first of all, thinking about operate against the gun. Don't think about too much. And also, if you take the gun down, it might also get you ricochet and get you injured by pointing the gun to any part that will back to you a ricochet. So don't be too much aware of it. Of course, if you can pull it on a mattress, something like this, that will block the ricochet, that's perfect. But many times people do this and they shoot their own legs. So what I'm going to do is this move. And I do it from a different angle. You can see it better. So my hand don't grab like this. If my hand grab like this, he come over me and he take it, and I cannot take the gun away from him. So my first move is to hold him like this and move my body away from the shooting area. And many times, because when a guy have a gun, we have a hands up. So we do this and we shoot our own hand. So you have to remember to take the hand down. On the same time, the hand comes from here and grab the gun. Even if you shoot one shot, boom, I hold the slide and the slide will not move. We check it, and if you hold the slide very strong, and it will stop the bullet that come out and the gun is on a jam. Now we can go and fight about the gun. So of course, the first move is to take him a little bit from balance and grab the gun. The second is to leash. You don't want to fight with him. You want to leash the gun from his hand. And on the same time, you can have the gun in your hand. Down or aside. When somebody put a gun to your head, basically, whenever somebody put a gun and you push it a little bit, first you can a little bit disoperate the gun, but that's request too much move. But by moving a little bit my head forward, his reflex is to pull it back. So basically you don't go and push him like a truck, you just do it easy. So the guy is a little bit resist to you. And you say, don't shoot me. On the same time, you lift the gun up, but on the same time, you drop your body down by pulling your leg and hold it. So some people do it like this. Look what happened in here. The guy might kick you and take his gun back. So from here, that's the first move. Second, and you leash the gun. So from here, 1, 2, 3. You can go, or you can go and shoot the guy. The next technique is when the gun is on your back. So first of all, you have to look that he has a gun. It could be like he pull a finger and his gun is close to his body. You come to take the gun and boom, you got shot. So I make sure that the guy has a gun. Maybe I found what kind of a gun he has, if I have time, if I don't have to do it too fast. Second, because I'm looking from this side, so his attention is that I am in this side, I will turn myself immediately to that side. When I turn, he will try to shoot me and say boom when I turn. Whenever I do it, it's too fast, the boom is there. The next move, I'm trapping the wrist. From here, you can go, be very rude, but the best, hold the gun before any move you do. So I grab the wrist, I grab the gun, hit the face, and get your hand forward from the wrist to the elbow. Then drop your shoulder and drop it to the ground. So I'm looking at the guy, and then I'm turning. I hold the wrist, and I go forward. Hold the gun. Make sure not to do over move. Just hold the gun. Now the gun, if I have to fight with him, the gun should be on his area. From here, drop your hand and make your hand in between his two bones. Okay? So when I push with my shoulder, actually I'm arm lock him, so I can hit him or drop him to the ground and shoot the guy or control him, depending on the situation. The other situation, I'm looking for this side to take his attention to this side. And I turn to that side. Many people holding the elbow. Holding the elbow is not control, because you run too much for those technique, but the guy still have the gun. So let's say even I kick him and he still run away from you and he have the gun. So the first thing with the weapon, control the weapon. Never let, when you want to fight him while you're holding the gun, not while you're holding the wrist and he can go or he can change the angle and shoot you. So I'm looking, and when I'm moving, you say boom, okay? Boom. And I'm out, and I didn't do it so quick, and I go again, like for the wrist, I can elbow him on the way to the gun. From here, I pull out the gun, again, I can hold him, kick, and don't move. Okay, the next technique is when the gun is on my side, like this side or that side. So I'll show you from a better angle. So from this angle, it's the same like from the back. I'll do this and the gun will be out. On the same time, I control the elbow, I can go. So again, on the side. So again, I do this and I grab the gun. Okay? From here, I have the gun and I can kick, or go to the shooting. It could be like the gun is here, so the first technique, and the second is like this, because I want the gun away, and again, and I go for the gun. So gun disarming is a very simple, if you keep basic rules of, look, where is this point? The gun is extension, the hand is extension, so if you punch me, this is one extension, this is a second extension, third extension, stick, and a gun, it's another extension of the hand. Okay, one of the things that I will also try to put in this video, in a very short, is like a combat fitness. Combat fitness is a big thing. Basically, we do it today with a simple ball. When you become advantage, you go with a medicine ball, and we can do 5 steps only about combat fitness. But I will show you today a very good exercise. So the first exercise in any martial art is the catch. The grabbing, because that's the way you're going to grab the gun, or that's the way you're going to grab the knife. So basically, people will let them play with a medicine ball, or when they are beginners, just with the ball, just to grab the ball. The next, I want to develop different coordination for the legs and for the hands, that they will be able to do other movement with the hands on the same time their legs doing totally different way. So like, I'll do like exercise which is like this. It's a little bit plyometric exercise. It's good, like you don't have to kick. It's not good to kick, not on a back. And on the same time, we will start to play. So basically, you can do it like for the chest, and you can do any kind of and you can change the legs. So that's about the fitness combat, a short subject in this video. Okay, thank you for joining for the first video for Kapap or micro combat, or what some people know as Lotar, counterterrorism style for counterterrorism unit. I'm happy that we made the first video. This video is just a small knowledge from a very huge subject under the name Lotar or Kapap. I would like to thank another instructor very famous in Israel, that a part of what you see here is his techniques, and this is Dr. Dennis Hanover from Survival, Hisardut. He has his own style and his own training center. And it's very recommend if you one day will do a video, to get his video or to get his training. Other people that I want to thank today is of course Brian Rochbuch, that is the first American instructor for Kapap, Lotar. I would like to thank to Chris and Jaco, which help us at this video. The next I would like to thank to Mr. Chaim Peer, which is one of the founder. Lieutenant Colonel Chaim Peer is one of the most famous Lotar instructors, and he helped a lot to develop also this material that you saw today. Another man is André Zeytoun from Paris, France, which supported with all the Thai box knowledge and helped a lot to develop that knowledge inside the Lotar. Other people as Patrick McCarthy that developed Tegumi, Vital Points, and other stuff inside the Lotar Kapap. I would like also to thank a good friend of mine, Jim Wagner, that made actually the first training of me in the States. He was the first one to brought me about 4 years ago to the States for training SWAT and commando units in the States. And he was the one that encouraged me to start teaching the style for civilians. Thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for your time.